What's going on, everybody? Mezariah here, and I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be about spiritual warfare and how it is something that you have to deal with before it gets in the physical. Before this video starts, I want y'all to please like and subscribe to my channel, like this video, just interact with it, comment. If people don't know that I'm rebooting, reintroducing this channel. I've been away from this channel for quite some time, and I just want to get my foot back in the door and drop some wisdom, some godly wisdom for you guys, and just, go into depth about spiritual things. What I want people to know about spiritual warfare, right? Because I'm speaking from experience, and I mean literal spiritual warfare. When you may have dreams and visions of things happening to you, or afflictions that you're seeing in the spirit. You can be a dreamer or a vision or a person that has visions every single day. God's talking to you every single day, and a lot of people don't realize how important it is to face or fight spiritual warfare. A lot of our problems for a lot of people, right? We were at one point fighting a war that we had no clue that we were fighting. We were just getting attacked, getting afflicted, seeing things manifest into our life, and you're like, why is this happening to me? Why are these things happening? What is going on with my life? And it can make it hard for you to take accountability, because on the outside it looks like everybody is doing these things to you, which they are, but it's a reason why these things happen. And of course, it's the ultimate answer is sin. Sin leads you to be attacked. It opens the doors for you to feel the attack. I wouldn't even say it's to feel the attack, to be afflicted to a point where it is harming you. That's how you know you have open doors, because you can still be attacked and have a closed door, and a closed spiritual door. But when you know you're being harmed spiritually, and you are feeling things, and things are just happening, you're getting fired from your jobs, you're losing this, you're losing that, and you don't have this and you don't have that, you can't acquire this, you can't acquire that, it's usually due to a spiritual door opening. So I want to let y'all know that I've experienced so much warfare in the past 5 years that I've caught up to the things in the spirit. So I don't see too many of my problems manifest into the physical, because once you realize that everything is spiritual, that's where you attack. That's where you go to fight your battles in the spirit. So before I understood spiritual things to another degree, I was getting attacked, I was getting afflicted, I was losing my blessings, just everything was just in disarray, it was in chaos, and I didn't understand why. But I've become so connected to Christ, and having a prayer life, fasting, giving to the poor, helping people, obeying God's commands. I have been able to evade a lot of attacks in my life, and it's like it's been an even playing field now. Now the knowledge that I have, I can apply it into my life, and it's like almost like you forget that you have affliction sometimes. Like, God gives you so much peace in your life that you forget that you have afflictions. So it's like when something does happen, you almost looking crazy. It's like, how did this happen? But it's so easy now to see that it is something, somebody is doing something, because when you are constantly fighting in the spirit, you are sensitive to the spirit. You are able to see When one little thing goes wrong, you're like, okay, it's easy for you to pinpoint, as opposed to somebody that is used to being attacked in the physical and everything going wrong in their life, you know? So the reason why you should stay up on your prayer life, on fasting, giving to the poor, helping people, doing the right thing, being obedient, is to keep that door closed. And that's ultimately what you need to do. Keep the door closed. You will become so consumed with the spiritual fight that when you see something in the physical, it'll catch you off guard sometimes. And that's another frustration, because when you are having a spiritual fight, you can be fighting all these different things, and you don't people don't realize, the people around you don't realize what you're really fighting, and you can't even prove what you're fighting. And that's the hard part, because here you are talking about something fantastical to someone else. They think it's something that's fantasy, that's, because it's not of this world, that they don't really understand it, or they don't understand it to the degree that you understand it. And being fighting in the spirit means keeping your peace and having strong faith, because the things that you see, you're able to hear from God, the dreams, the visions, him maybe speaking audibly to you. Those things you can't prove. And that's I think God, well, I know God strategically designed it that way, so you can keep your relationship with him intimate, and you can keep it private, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have a private relationship with the Father. And it can be a little frustrating sometimes, because when you're going through these afflictions, no one can see what you're going through but you and God in the spirit. Nobody can see you. It's so amazingly designed that way, to to show one's faith, because here you are fighting a battle by yourself. Well, you're not by yourself, but it's private to the world. It's only connected to you and the Creator. And now you have to walk around like nobody's doing anything to you. And if you do speak on it, um, you will look crazy, or you'll look like you're the problem. Because let me tell you about the things in the spirit. If you are in the spirit constantly, you have all of these enemies against you, and you speak on things, and you say to the world, I see these people doing these things, and you falling out with people, and you blocking people. It can make it seem like you're the problem, but you're not. You see things in the spirit clearly. You are seeing things, and it doesn't suck, because we are protected by the Father at all times, but it can be frustrating. It can be a lot. But we have to remind ourselves that a lot of people don't have these gifts. A lot of people don't have that ability to hear and speak, and hear and see what God is saying to them. And let me tell you all something. When my father passed in October, I dealt with so much spiritual warfare. God had to give me previews in the spirit of what I was going to be dealing with. And he wanted me to get ahead of the afflictions before I was consumed. It was so crazy. And this is how wicked people are. This is how wicked the world is. Here I am grieving that my dad passed, and I had to bury my dad October 25th. The night that I buried my dad, or the day that I buried my dad, that same night, I went to sleep, and God gave me previews of 4 different afflictions that that I would have to be dealing with in the following week. It was that much warfare that I had to catch up to. He said, Mezzy, he said clearly, all right, you buried your dad. You grieved. Now here are a lot of things that you're going to have to be dealing with at the hands of other people. At the hands of other people, and these are people that know that my dad, passed, and here I have people competing with me in the spirit. It's so vile. It's so vile, and and when you're dealing with afflictions like that, when you, it's hard to even speak on it because you'll look arrogant. You'll look like you are the one that's just projecting onto other people, and that's why you have to be quiet when you are dealing with things in the spirit. You have to be silent. You have to be able to um, keep things to yourself because you'll look like you're the one just putting things on other people, and you're just misunderstanding things. And no, you know the relationship you have with God. You know what God is telling you, and not only that, your long suffering. That's why long suffering is a fruit of the spirit, and that's one of the greatest fruits of the spirit. When you're long suffering, you get an answer. You get the answers that you need. So let's say, for example, you have a dream of someone, and this dream was a bad dream about that person, but you don't know for sure if it's really that person because the devil is cunning. The devil is very, very cunning, and this happens to with me a lot. I don't know. I see many people afflicting me in the spirit, but I see one person, and I'm not sure if it's them. So I decide to step back and to analyze who this person is, if this is the right person that's afflicting me, or if this is a familiar spirit. And a familiar spirit, for people that don't know, is somebody that is basically spiritually wearing a mask and pretending to be someone else, or taking on the form of a familiar person that's in the physical. So in your dream, it may appear to be that person, but it's really somebody else. So when you dream, you have to go to God about everything because you don't want to accuse anybody about anything. You don't want to assume. And you may have a dream about that person, and it'll go, you'll go about life like, okay, I still don't know who this person is. 6 months later may pass, and you see another dream of this person, and you're like, hold on now. I thought this was this, this may be, confirmation, and that this second dream is a bad dream, and then God gives you another dream, a third dream, and then He confirms that it is this person. I say that to say that's what long suffering is. When you're able to withstand afflictions with people staring you right in your face, pretending to love you, pretending to be there for you, and to basically pretend that they care about you, and they don't, and they're really here in your life for ulterior motives. And that's the type of faith that you have to have. You have to be wise. God says to be soft as a dove, wise as a serpent. So these people are in your face and doing all of these things behind the scenes, and you secretly somewhat know about it because God has revealed it to you, but you still don't know for sure. Then God gives you another message, like this person is doing this and this person is doing that. I know, and that's why God knows our hearts, because we're graceful. We do these. We are hesitant about just cutting people off because it's like we don't want to make the wrong decision. We don't want to just accuse anyone of doing witchcraft or doing whatever evil affliction. I have multiple people that have done small rituals on me or weird stuff in the spirit. It's been multiple people that I've seen, but this is not about me. But I'm saying is, when you're patient, God will finally reveal it to you. He will give you the answer, and that is the hard thing about the fight in the spirit, because you have to discipline yourself. You have to have discipline. When you know for sure God is speaking to you, and you know the language between you and God, He is going to show you, and it's no way that you can ignore it. It's no way. So that's the thing where a lot of people don't understand the things of the spirit, the spiritual realm. When you have access to the spiritual realm and you understand how the things of the spiritual realm work. That's where God resides, and it's a blessing. It's such a blessing to have that type of protection, because here you have God, sitting there telling you every little detail of what someone may be planning to do to you, or what you should be staying away from, what you should be working on, what you should pray against, what you should pray and come in covenant with. It's so many things that access to the spiritual realm does. And excuse me, I had something in my mouth. But yeah, it's so many blessings to that gift of essentially what it is, prophecy. You see these things, these future events taking place before they come to this physical world, and you have to make a decision. God is simply giving you a chance to alter that reality that he is showing you that is going to happen if you don't pray, and he's giving you a chance to pray against it, to fast against it, and to fight against it. And he's giving you a chance to alter that coming reality that he's showing you, and it's quite literal. It's not just some metaphorical thing. It can be metaphorical, but what God is showing you, he even if the message is metaphorical, it can manifest. It will manifest in the physical if you're not doing anything about it, and that's what it does. He's giving you a chance to to make a decision what you're going to do with the message that he's giving you, and um yeah, so it's so much to having access to the spiritual realm, and it can be really, really frustrating about the things that you have to see, and the things that you have to be quiet about, because 98% of the world don't really understand what you're talking about. They either pretend that they do, or they do, or just don't understand, you know, and that's the plight. And for anybody watching this video, you can find some inspiration from this, because you're not alone. You're not alone. There's so many people that have spiritual gifts, that have understanding of the spirit, and what they are supposed to do to keep these attacks from happening, to block these attacks. And the spiritual realm is not just about attacks, but for the most part, it is, because God says, I forgot what scripture it is, when He says that He will warn you and scare you with warnings in your dream at night. So most of these things are to prepare you, to shape you, and protect you from oncoming afflictions. I literally just had a dream while I was fasting, and I that's so crazy. The dream said, one of the words in the dream, it was a car, ACAR, and I looked up the word. I woke up from my dream, and this is a person that I don't talk to anymore, and he was trying to explain what the word meant, and I think he was lying in that dream, but the word meant to bind, to imprison. And it was so interesting, because this is like confirmation that this person was trying to do something to me, to afflict. He was trying to afflict me. And that's another definition of the word akar. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. But um yeah, so if you have any afflictions that you're dealing with in the physical, you have to go to the spirit, especially if you don't know where they're coming from. We all are being afflicted every day. So if you are a person that has no understanding of the spiritual realm, dreams, visions, or anything like that, and you are living in turmoil and your life is miserable, you want to get access to the spiritual. You want to get access to God's place, God's home, so you can understand how to fight this war that we are fighting. We are fighting an invisible war. You know, uh, that reminds me of Hebrews, book of Hebrews, where it says Faith is the things that are evident that cannot be seen. And that's exactly what the spiritual realm is. We can't see the spiritual realm with our physical eyes. I know a lot of people are against the third eye doctrine. I get it completely. But you got to remember, acknowledging that you have a third eye is not demonic. Worshiping or trying to crack it open is demonic. You trying to crack your third eye open is demonic. A third eye is essentially your pineal gland. This is science. So we kind of made certain terminologies synonymous with new age, and we gotta get out of that. We gotta reclaim certain words that belong to the kingdom of light, because it is essentially a third eye, because we're literally, that's how we dream at night. When we close our eyes, that's how we dream. But where people go wrong, we want to crack it open ourselves, and that's witchcraft, because we are taking control of a dimension that we do not have complete dominion over. Only humans have dominion over the earth. God has to give us permission to come into the spiritual realm. That is God's home. So I want to make myself clear on that. I just wanted to add that in there because I don't want people to think I'm in new age or anything like that. I don't even understand occultism like that, but I know certain knowledge and wisdom is always connected, but the foundation is always faulty when it is of another god or any other doctrine that is not of God. But yeah, so that's it, y'all. I just wanted to give y'all some understanding of the spiritual things, and I think I want to elaborate on my story about the spiritual warfare that I had to endure when my dad died. I think I'm going to make that my next video. I think I am, because I want to see you. I want to show y'all how wicked people really are, and I'm going to go into detail about that. I'm going to go into detail tremendously about that, because that was ridiculous what I had to go through. That was so ridiculous. And when you're in the spirit, it affects you so much more, because when you have access to the spirit, five five plus years or however long, and you're used to certain things, you automatically get upset because you know these people are doing these things. It's different when you see it in the physical, because it's like you get used to it in the physical, but when you see it in the spirit, God is revealing something about someone's heart, and it's so disappointing. But I'm definitely going to make a separate video about that, because yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time. So let me know what you think about this topic. Comment, share the video, please. Help your boy, celebrate your boy. This is a channel for the Most High. This is all about the Most High. This is all about, my journey through the Most High, and all praises go to the Most High God, Abba, my Father in heaven. So, thank y'all. Stay tuned for another video. I'm out.